Okay. Fingers crossed this works, because I have tried restarting this video about 6 times so far. I don't think any elements are on my favor right now. The sun is currently setting. It's about 7:20 in the evening. We've exited summer now. It is March. So, yep, the fading light is not helping me. I am close enough to a highway that I feel I can hear the cars, even in the distance. So this may be picked up on camera as well. Also, I'm clearly in the bush, in nature, in the forest, I think as is said elsewhere in the world. And yeah, so there's birds, which, yep, there we go. Lovely to listen to, but I think that my camera is picking up on their noises equally as much as my voice. And there's also the wind. So, that being said, welcome to my video. I'm sitting here outside. I finished work a little bit ago and I have all of my knitting with me. Well, not all my knitting. I'll explain. I think that, as with many other knitters, crafters, people who make things for themselves, we, and who have done for a period of time now, we've accumulated things that we finished and we're happy with in the moment, or perhaps weren't so happy with in the moment, but we just wanted to get it done. The sight of that yarn and the needles and the pattern and everything, doing it for so long, you just got sick of it, you wanted to get it off the needles, get it done, and then you're wearing something that you're perhaps not as happy with as you could have been if you'd spent the extra time in the moment doing that little bit of extra thing that you wanted to do. Or you've accumulated projects that you've absolutely loved and you've worn to death, and they need a bit of TLC because they are not in their tip-top prime condition. So with that in mind, I was talking with my very, very dear friend about this exact dilemma, and we were both committed to this year being the year we revisit all of our old projects, all of the things that we wish were just a little bit better, and we're going to fix them. So we're going to fix those knits, and yeah, I figured what better way to hold myself accountable than actually filming myself on camera saying all the things I'm going to do this year, and exactly why those things need to be done. And you know, I'll say what I think this will improve, and then I figure in a few months, once I've finished everything, I will actually give some kind of indication whether the birds, love them. Yeah, and also I'll give some indication as to whether that improvement has actually been an improvement, if it's been worth the time, and yeah, I'll see how long it takes me, I guess, to get through my list. So I don't really know how I feel about talking to a camera, especially when I'm in the middle of nowhere. Well, close enough that you can hear the cars, but you know, I'm here on my own, so I've got no one to be checking with to see if I'm making sense. So we'll just see how this goes. I'm aiming to just kind of film this video, do some very minimal editing, and post it online and see if other people are facing this dilemma and perhaps motivating them to fix their knits, because we want to have these garments forever, right? This is what I've been saying with my friend. We want to have these garments forever. We want to treasure them. They're handmade. They've spent so many hours on the needles, so many hours in our closets and actually being worn. So they should be as perfect, as close to perfect as we can get them, so we can treasure them for many, many, many years to come. So I've got a coffee here, lukewarm now, as I've spent so long setting up all of this. And I will get into it. I've also got my little knitting book. Yes, it is klimt. And I've got all of my little notes here. So I figured that I will revisit the notes that I've made. I'll make little things. I'll put in some photos and videos of things. I've also got this hair tie I was wearing, but it was making far too much noise when I was moving my head about. And I figured that I didn't want to sound like a little cat with a bell on its neck while I was making this video, because all of the other noises around me are competing to be heard just as much as the bell was. So that is sitting there. So If you would like to join me going through all of my projects and perhaps making notes about your own projects, please settle in, try to bear my voice, and we'll get into it. Oh, and what I'm wearing. This is sweater number 19, I believe. 18 or 19. No, it's number 19 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I knit this 2.5 years ago now, and it is in my favorite color. This is the rerum natura gilliatt in color printemps, in color I don't know how you say it, sorry, without the accent. Printemps, which is spring. That sounded incredibly pretentious, so I apologize, but it's this beautiful, like, green color, spring color, and it's yeah, I love it so much. I wear this all the time. It's a very strange shape, this jumper. Like, it gives this real boxiness, and it's very cropped. I used exactly 4 balls of yarn to knit this. They're each 250 meters. I definitely could have cracked into the 5th. I had 5, but it was one of those things where I was so over knitting this pattern in the round with so many stitches on it, because it's just a 4-row repeat, this pattern. I was so over it. There is a truck. I was so over knitting this pattern that I just cropped it, and I did 2x2 Italian bind off at the edge, and yeah, I feel that I enjoy wearing it enough at this length. Like, it goes really well. It's really good length to kind of tuck just into the top of my pants or my skirts, that I don't think I'll revisit it. But this, I would not be opposed to picking up the stitches and grafting, because I'm not undoing this Italian bind off. No way, Jose. Instead, I'd probably just like knit a bit extra. But we'll see. This is something that I'm not 100% sure on fixing, because it doesn't need to be fixed, just maybe improving. I guess I'll see how I go this winter, because this is like one of my most worn sweaters. I still get a lot of wear out of it. I'll just see if perhaps I will get more wear out, if I'll reach for it more, if I reach for it less rather, with this lengthening idea in mind. I don't know, we'll see. So that's what I'm wearing, and let's get into it. So the first one is a bit of an honorary mention, because they're not mine, they have been given back to me, because it's very obvious. So let's just, I knit these socks for my grandmother. These are the second pair of socks I ever knit, when I first learned how to make socks. So I made terrible decisions. This is knit in 100% alpaca. Why? Because I wanted to give her a really luxurious pair of socks that felt really nice, and because she was wanting to wear them for bed socks. So they're 100% alpaca, which means they've got absolutely zero elasticity. They have now felted, and yeah, they looked pretty though, and they're still extremely soft, but clearly they need a deep heel. And I don't know how she's managed to do this, but she's torn a massive hole in the heel. Bed socks, I don't know if she's running around the house doing everything else in them, clearly, because that is, how does one manage this? I think that it started as a tiny little hole, and then she didn't want to tell me about it because she was worried that, oh no, like I've put a hole in the socks, because she loves these things. She wore them to death, clearly. So yeah, this is just one, I've had them for a few months now. Definitely should have already fixed them, but I'm kind of just giving myself some leeway, because it's been summer in Australia, if that wasn't obvious by my accent. But I've been giving myself some leeway because it's Australia, she's not wearing them, like it's been warm, but it's starting to get cold again. It is March, officially the end of summer, and we get some really cold nights early on. So what I'm going to do, going to give these, I'll start a checklist somewhere. Well, it's in my book, but I don't know, it'll all be written somewhere once I figure out how to edit things. So, goal for these socks, and I want to get this done, I'm saying I can get this done within the month. It's the 6th of March today, got plenty of time. I'm going to set myself the goal, getting this done within the month. There we go. Set it out loud now, so it has to happen. I'm going to give these a thorough deep Then I'm going to, I've got more of this exact yarn. So then I'm going to pick up stitches, I think, because it's right on the heel turn as well for the German short row heel. I think I'm just going to pick up stitches and just knit flat. And this heel as well, she's looking a little bit sparse. So maybe I'll just, okay, yeah, I'm going to reinforce both of the heels. Then I'm going to give them a good wash and a reblock, because I don't think she's washed these. Well, I think she has, and that's part of the problem because they've felted a little bit. But I'm going to give some nice TLC, wash them with some wool wash, lay them out to dry, and re-gift these to her at the end of March. So, number 1, that is the plan. There we go. Number 2, we're really going on the theme of things that I knit very, very, very early on, because this is actually the first thing that I ever knit. There wasn't like an unfinished piece of garter stitch that was never casted off and just ripped out. So once I learned how to knit on those garter stitch things, and after, oh, actually I lied, this is the second thing I ever knit, because the first thing was a 1x1 beanie for my father, I'll insert a photo, which was in half twisted rib. I did not know this at the time because I knit it entirely in the round, and I just figured that, wow, my pearls are coming out super crisp and nice. Turns out it was twisted rib, and I figured that out once my dad asked me, oh, why is it different on one side and not the other? Can you do that again for me? And I could not. So anyway, so that was the first thing I knit, was a beanie for my dad. Second one was a beanie for me. Whoop. Yeah, should not be able to see my finger through the top of this hat. This is just a very simple one. I just cast off very badly. I think I literally, when I was threading the stitches at the end, because this is a top up, let's backtrack. This is Jason's cashmere hat, which is a free pattern posted online by someone whom I will put somewhere on the screen. And I knit this with 2 random balls of angora that I had thrifted. I have, like, this is a super, super luxe hat in angora. It's an angora alpaca blend from an op shop that I found when I had just started knitting. I just went to my local op shop and was looking through the yarn, and there were like 4 balls of this angora, like 50-gram little angora balls. What? Crazy. And it's like vintage yarn, because it looks super vintage. So I got that, and then I decided I want an angora hat, of course. And then I found this pattern online, and this is before I used Ravelry as well. So yeah, and then when I was threading through at the end, I think I literally just dropped 4 stitches, and that did not occur to me that would not, I don't know, but I've had this for 3 years now, and I wear it a little bit, but it's a little bit too small. Like, I've also never blocked this. That will probably help, because when I have it on, it just ends up like coming off my head a little bit and bunching weirdly at the top, which I don't like. So, plan of action, this is not a high priority, so I'm thinking I just want this done before winter. So I've got 3 months. I just want to, like, I think I'll unpick my bind off and kind of unravel a little bit and just pick up stitches, and then just do like 3 rounds again, and then bind off correctly, and then I'm going to block it. This does not need a de-pilling, it's just meant to be white and fuzzy, I think. I don't know, but I think a block and a reseaming of this will do wonders for it, and I really hope that I can wear it more, because it feels incredible. I also have a whole spare ball of this, a whole ball. It's like 50 grams of DK weight angora. Maybe I've got more than 1 ball, because I would absolutely love a pair of gloves in this exact same stitch pattern. But I think we're reaching, because I don't think I've got enough. But gorgeous. So yeah, very quick fix, but not a high priority. So before winter is my deadline for that. Next up, I have these shorts that I knit. I say shorts, but they're long. I knit these as a test knit for the lovely, lovely, lovely Friday Knits, Phoebe from Friday Knits. She is also an Aussie knitter from Melbourne as well. She's lovely, she's amazing, love all of her patterns. I test these are the lost shorts. I test knit these for her. I also test knit the tank for her, and I love them. I wear them so much. I love them so much, and my sister also loves them so much that she steals them. So I'm knitting her own pair. But I did all of the options, which I should not have done. I did the short row option and all of the increase options to get them high-waisted, but they're too high-waisted. They come up to like my bra, the bottom of my bra. Need I say more? So the plan is I need to take out like this much. I don't know how I'm going to do that though, because this has got all of these the increases, because they're knit from the waistband down. So I think the plan is I'm just going to have to re-knit a lot of it. And I think it would be less painful. I don't know. I need to figure out if it will be less painful to come in here and re-knit upwards and just like not have this section and just re-knit a little bit and then like do the one by one, or to pick up like here and just go almost straight into the legs. This one I'm undecided on. I really do want to be wearing these in winter though. So again, I'm going to give myself 3 months to decide what I'm going to do with this, because I love them. I really enjoy wearing the hand knit shorts. They're super warm and toasty and super comfortable because like they're so stretchy. I've also just blocked these, so I've not worn them since blocking them. Like I've reblocked them. I blocked them initially, but I gave them a wash. So I want to depill these because I didn't depill them well enough, obviously. They're pilly. I want to depill these. I want to figure out which direction I'm going to go, and I want to have this done by end of financial year. Let's say that. Don't know why that coincides in my mind, but that's what I want to do. So next, now this category here is, actually I'm going to take a sip of my coffee first. So let's enjoy the sound of the birds for a second. That's not lukewarm anymore. Strange sound. That is not lukewarm coffee, that is cold coffee. But I am a cold coffee enjoyer. So the next category is frogging, which is very, very sad, but it has to be done because I want to enjoy the things I'm wearing. So first item here to be frogged, I know, it's a full Colourworks sweater. This was also a test knit. Ooh, yeah. 3 of the things in this pile are test knits. 2 of them in my hands. This was a test knit. I absolutely loved test knitting this jumper. This is the partner pullover by whatlydiamade, Lydia Morrow of whatlydiamade. She's a genius. She just does amazing things, so beautifully well thought out patterns, incredibly size inclusive, incredibly detailed, with everything you need. Everything. I'm absolutely going to knit this again at some stage. Just this one, I knit this for my ex-boyfriend. It came out too small for him. I was going to fix it for him eventually, but it languished, and he is now my aforementioned ex-boyfriend. So this is getting frogged because I do not want that reminder. And I absolutely love the yarn, but I'm not going to reknit the same thing just because I want to completely clear that slate. So this is Malabrigo Rios, the multicolour one, and heirloom merino fleck. Terrible choice to put together because one is superwash merino and one is non-superwash merino. So what I'm planning to do is knit a vest in the multicolour one. I knit the Serene vest by Bronte Studios in Malabrigo Rios. Love that thing to death, and so I'm thinking that I will do the exact same thing with this. And the heirloom, I've also got some of the bone colour in this yarn and some of the brown. So I'm wanting to do like a striped cardigan because I've got 5 balls of the merino and 3 balls of the Rios. Yeah, so that'll work out. Like I just need to frog this. It's just been sitting there for like a long time now, and yeah, I just need to frog it. It's also bottom up, so it'll be really satisfying to frog this. very cathartic. So yeah, this just needs to get done. Just needs to get done. It's just been sitting there unused for a long time. So frogging, yeah, let's get this done. And this, I'm going to do this like in the next few days. So I want this to be all frogged and wound up by the end of March. And then to reuse the yarn, I just want to reuse the yarn or get rid of the yarn, whatever I choose to do, by the end of the year, because I just don't want this to be sitting around in my closet forever. I don't know why I keep saying closet. I feel like that's a very American, maybe not even American term, but just I don't have a closet. I've got a wardrobe, I've got a walk-in wardrobe and a shelf for my yarn. So I'm going to stop saying closet. Next, also a test knit, and I'm so sad to frog this, but it just is, I'm just not reaching for it. This is the interview vest by Stitches Get Purled. That's her Instagram, I can't remember her name, but that's her Instagram handle. This is the interview vest. I love this vest. I'm going to re-knit it again. I'm going to knit it again at some point. But she is just stunning. This is knit in Noro Madara as well. So it is an incredibly beautiful garment in colour sake, number 1, I'm pretty sure. And I love this vest. I'm going to knit this for sure. It's just got the most beautiful twisted rib details. The collar is absolutely amazing. And the reason I love this so much, it's got like this detail at the split hem. Gorgeous. So this is a test knit, so I think doing it again, I would choose a different size. Also, I think it just was a bit too long. Like, it's just very long in the body, so it comes out like the bottom of the armhole is like at my waist. So it's just very gapey. Like, I like to wear it with a button up underneath or something, but then that means that the ribbing just comes down a bit too far. So I think I'm going to choose the smallest size. I knit the second smallest size. No. I'm going to knit the smallest size, if this is not already the smallest size. I'm going to figure something out, but I'm going to take off length from this middle section because it's just a bit too long for me. And yeah, so sadly, I'm going to frog all of this twisted rib. I love this though. I'm 100% going to be knitting again. Kristen, I think that's her name. She was absolutely amazing. This was her first pattern as well, and I think it came out beautifully. I loved seeing all of the other versions in the test knit, so yeah, definitely going to knit this again, but I'm just going to frog this version, and instead I'm going to use the yarn. I think I'm just going to make another Sophie shawl, because I do have a Sophie shawl knit in Noro Madara in red, and I only used 2 skeins for that, and it's beautiful. I really love this colour as well. I knit the step-by-step cardigan in this exact yarn, and this was my leftover because I had a lot of that yarn. I got it as a birthday gift, and I was super happy about that. So yeah, I'm going to frog this. This used 3 hanks, I think, rather. 3 hanks. And as well, I'm going to be really sad to frog this because my pickup was so nice. Like, that is my continuing issue, is that my pickup edges just come out terribly. It's always one side. I think I need to look into more my purling technique because there's an underlying issue there. But everything came out so beautifully, and all my Italian bind-offs were beautiful. Ugh. But it needs to be frogged because I don't wear it. I've worn it maybe twice, and I finished this June last year. So it's a shame. But I'm going to frog this. I'm either going to make a Sophie shawl with 2 of them and then have the other one just chilling around for incorporating in a later project, or make some other type of vest, but like a more fitted one. We'll see. But that's this one, and this I'm going to frog by the end of the month. I'm going to frog both of these ones at the same time. And yeah, I just want to have this re-knit into something else. If it's a scarf, I'll probably start on it very soon. If I'm doing a vest, I want to have this done around May time, like my birthday time, because this yarn is just absolutely stunning and I want to wear this all the time. That's that one. Now, the next, so we've got 4 sweaters to go and 1 honorary mention at the end. This is my terrazzo sweater by petiteknit, knit in the exact yarn that she used, which is the Noro Silk Garden Sock Solo in colour Omitama, and the Isager Silk Mohair. Incredibly luxurious item. Absolutely love this. It is so stunning. Just the colours, like, oh my god. Oh my god. Don't even need to say anything about this. And she's perfect in every aspect except when I was doing my cuffs. I did one on small circulars and one on DPNs. No, it wasn't DPNs, it was on magic loop, and I've gotten a lot better at magic loop, but I don't know if you can tell, I can definitely tell. Can you see that? The massive, is it that one? Yeah, there's just two of the sides, they just have a massive gap. The ladder, like, it's just, that was the seam for the magic loop, and I just, every time I wear it, I look down and I'm like, that's right in my line of sight, that's a lot bigger than all of the others, and I just can't, I can't deal with that any longer. So the other one came out beautifully, all of the gaps are very nice and neat. I think that's because it was on the small circulars, but now I much prefer magic loop anyway. So everything about this is perfect besides that. So I'm just going to go back into both of the cuffs, because once I redo it now, the tension is going to be different, and yeah, it's been worn for a while, so it's stretched out a little bit. So, and even one of them's like, that one's bigger, like the one, like, it's bigger because of that gap. So I'm going to just go back in to about there on both of them and just redo the ribbings on magic loop, and then cast them back on. This is going to be a super quick fix, so I'm going to get this done by the end of March. A lot of these things are happening in March, because March, I'm feeling, is Mend It March. Let's coin that. It probably already is a thing, but yeah, this is going to be a quick fix. Mark my words. And the next one is very much in kind. Another terrazzo sweater. I love this pattern. I've knit it 3 times, and I will knit it again. It's the first pattern that I ever did. I've got the 2 first sweaters I ever made here. This was started first but finished second. It's another terrazzo sweater. Knit also in Noro Silk Garden, but it's just the Noro Silk Garden Solo, not Sock Solo. And sheepies mohair. I did not know at the time I was buying the incorrect Noro Silk Garden, because this is an Aran weight rather than a sport. So she's chunky, but this is like my favorite color. Okay, I said that about this too, but these two things, these are my favorite colors, also purple, but we digress. Anyway, I've already started my modification on this, because this was at a time, because it was the first sweater that I knit, I did not know how to do Italian bind off correctly. So get ready for a jump scare. That's what I did. Yeah. I don't know what that is. When I was doing this, I was like, wow, why does everyone like to do Italian bind off so much? This is looking terrible. But I trusted myself naively and bound off the entire sweater like that. Actually, no. The bottom I had given up hope, so I just normal bound off. So, a few days ago, I picked this up and redid it. Look how cinched that is compared to that. That is insane. So, because I just wanted to, like, I've worn this for a long time now, 3 years, so it's stretched out, which I'm not unhappy with, but I think that redoing it just gives it a bit more life, and then over time, this will stretch out again with wear. So I redid the Italian bind off. She's looking super snatched now. You probably can't tell because it's not been blocked yet, but this, I'm just going to pick up the other one, redo that. I'm going to put myself through knitting 20 centimeters of twisted rib again, because this just needs to be fixed. This is atrocious. It looks terrible. Yeah, gonna have to do that. I don't need to re-knit the rib on this, because this is held really nicely. I think I'm just going to, but then picking up, and then I just need to redo the rib, the bind off on this. The body, I kind of want to make it into a split hem, because I really love a split hem. So that I may do as well, but I definitely need to redo the bind offs on every aspect of this jumper. This one I should be able to finish by the end of March. I've already started. I'm very motivated. This is my most worn sweater. So yeah, by the end of March, this will be done. Next is the exact same situation. One of the first things I started, but this is sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I started knitting this. When I knit sweaters, I do the yoke, the collar, then the sleeves, and then knit the rest of the body. So that's what I did. But once I put these stitches on hold and I finished like the sleeves. So the sleeve bind offs are the Italian bind off. Yeah, terrible. But by the time I picked up the body and finished that, I'd learned how to do Italian bind off correctly. So this is a very, very easy fix. What I just need to do, go back in, re-knit the cuffs, because they've stretched out a little bit and unevenly, I must say. No, actually that's not bad. So I'm just going to re-knit the cuffs and re-Italian bind off. Then it needs a good de-pilling, and yeah, she'll get a bit of a bath as well. But this is a very easy fix. I'll have this done by the end of March. Have I bitten off too much? No. That's only 3 minor modifications and 2 frogs by the end of March. And the socks. I think we're fine. We shall see, but yeah. This one's very, very loved. I don't really wear it out so much. I more just wear it around the home. And I just want to not have to avert my eyes when I look down at my wrists and see this bind off. So, last one. Oh, let me just readjust myself. Last one. This is the first jumper that I ever finished. Yes, it is all over colour work. I was crazy. This is also a test knit by a designer whom I think is not on Instagram or in the knitting community anymore, because every time that I've went to find their page, it's like not there. But this was their first design as well, which is the Mellow sweater, which is all over colour work in crazy, crazy colours. And yeah, this was the first test knit I did, first colourwork sweater, first finished sweater, because I'd started the terrazzo sweater beforehand but finished it afterwards. And this knit up super quick. It was on like 6.5mm needles. I don't know if you can still buy the pattern anymore because, as I said, I haven't been able to find the designer anymore. But yeah, I love this, but it is incredibly lumpy because I did not know what I was doing. I used all mismatched yarn weights because what is that? The collar is very wide, it's very cinched in, and just she's got a lot of character. But I love this sweater. I just wear it around the house. I don't wear it out. But again, you should not be able to see my fingers coming out of the sweater. I did not know what I was doing, so on the inside, all of the ends are just tied together and cut off, and seamed very poorly at the underarm, which is why there's a hole. So I'm just going to get some other random contrasting yarn and knit a little patch over that, and then pay some attention to my ends on the inside and make sure that there's not going to be any other of those circumstances. But yeah, other than this, I'm just going to live with the fact that it's very lumpy, doesn't fit very well, and is not super aesthetically pleasing because, yeah, first thing I ever finished, and I just love the chaos that goes on here. Like the sleeves are too short. They come to about here, which is not my preferred sleeve length, and they're very tight. But I love that, and I'm just going to embrace it. And I'm very much fighting with the light here, but I've just got one more thing, which is the honorary mention. I did not knit this. This is a vintage sweater that my sister had and decided is too itchy, so then gave to me, and I was more than happy to accept it. So it's an Australian-made 90% wool, 10% nylon knit. It says made in Australia here, and it's a brand Ogi, O-G-I. I've never heard of it before, but I just think it's really pretty. It gives me a lot of inspiration to knit all over colour work. And yeah, it's even got this cool detail, which I will probably implement. Like the sleeve, it's actually like this, but You see there, it's got a line where there's like elastic knit in, so it folds like that. It does that on the body as well. But yeah, this one just needs some minor repairs because there's quite a few holes in it. It is a vintage sweater, so I think just like, yeah, there's like holes all throughout the body. So I really just need to go in, and I'm a big fan of visible mending. I don't mind if the mending is in contrasting colors or little patterns or funky. I think it adds a lot of character. So I'm just going to give this sweater a good deep healing. I'm going to identify all of the little tears and holes in it. I'm going to fix them all up, and then I'm going to give it a good wash because she bought this at a vintage store and I don't think she's washed it. I don't think she's worn it, to be fair, but I don't know if she washed it after buying it from the store. So that's all that needs to be done for this. So yeah, I just want this to be done. It's not a high priority, so I feel like June again. I just want this to be done by winter so I can get some wear out of it, even though I don't really wear things that I've not knit. I really love this, so I will wear this sweater, and once it's mended especially. And I'm just picking off all the fluff now. I need to stop. Okay, well, I feel that was a bit chaotic, and I feel that the light is now, I can see the sun setting over there, so I don't know if I'm even able to be seen right now. But yeah, that's my little plan so far. Hopefully that made some sense and it was cohesive. If not, well, can't change it now. So yeah, that's my little video. I am really keen to follow up as I'm making all of these modifications, alterations, improvements, and yeah, hopefully that was enjoyable, and hopefully I would love to hear if anyone else is undergoing the same rigorous evaluation of all of their knitwear. Please leave me a comment if that is in fact what you're going to be doing. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please join me again at a later stage. If I do end up following up, I'm going to follow up. Don't worry. Check back in a month at the end of March. And yeah, I'll have an update. But yeah, thank you for joining me again. I am talking like a broken record now, so I'm going to end the video. Bye!